ever feel like you're swimming upstream? Like how we think we should work just isn't how our brains actually want to work?
It's interesting, right? We're told grind, hustle, be on all the time.
But what if there's like a smarter way, a more natural way?
That's what this whole deep dive is about.
We're diving into Hyperefficient, a book by Mithu Storoni.
Really fascinating stuff.
And get this, it suggests that we should maybe look to, wait for it, hunter-gatherers
Yeah.
for clues about unlocking our modern brain power.
Yeah, what's fascinating is Storoni connects this to what are called power laws.
Okay.
You see these patterns everywhere in nature, right?
Mhm.
Like how earthquakes happen,
Okay.
how ocean waves form. It's these bursts of activity, and then rest, and then more intense activity.
Okay, so power laws in nature, I think I get that. But you're saying this applies to work too?
Absolutely. It's all about efficiency, right?
Okay.
And so she uses this example of the Hadza people in Tanzania. They still live as hunter-gatherers today.
Wow.
And researchers, they actually track their movements while they're searching for food.
So they weren't just like, scrolling Instagram all day. What'd they find?
Exactly. So the Hadza, they naturally followed this power law pattern. Short trips to gather food, those are super common. But those long, energy-intensive treks,
Yeah.
way less frequent. Conserve energy unless it's absolutely necessary. That's kind of the name of the game.
So how does this ancient hunter-gatherer strategy, how does that translate to like our 21st century brains, stuck in these office chairs all day?
Well, think about just even how we access memories, right?
Mm.
It's way more efficient for our brains to just quickly recall recent or frequently used information.
Yeah.
Think those short trips.
Okay.
But when we have to really dig deep for those older, more obscure memories,
Yeah.
that's like that long trek, you know? It takes a lot more energy and effort. It's taxing on the brain.
So are you saying...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, are you saying that our brains would be happier with shorter bursts of intense focus and then rest?
Yeah.
Sign me up.
It's not just... Yeah. Does this mean no more guilt about my afternoon slump?
It's not even just about feeling good, though that is a nice bonus. There's actual science behind this.
Okay.
But it's not just a hunch.
I'm going to need a more convincing example than napping babies. What about people who actually got stuff done? You know what I mean?
Okay, so get this. Researchers, they looked at how some of history's greatest minds, right, how they managed their workload.
Okay.
We're talking Darwin, Freud,
No way.
Einstein. I mean,
Those guys weren't out taking naps.
these are not slackers.
Instead of writing groundbreaking scientific papers.
Right. And here's the thing. So here's the kicker. They didn't answer letters and manage correspondence in a steady stream.
Really?
They had these bursts of activity followed by periods of rest, just like that power law pattern.
So they were onto something, working with their natural rhythms instead of against them? Okay, color me intrigued. If these intellectual giants, these titans, weren't afraid of a little downtime, maybe we shouldn't be either. But why is this so important for us to understand now?
Well, because think about it, right? Our world today, it's kind of obsessed with this always-on mentality.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right. Always connected, always hustling.
On the grind, yeah.
But we literally evolved in a totally different environment.
Yeah, we didn't evolve with smartphones.
Right. Our ancient ancestors, they faced different challenges.
Right.
And so their brains adapted to be incredibly efficient at switching between action and rest.
Makes sense.
Those bursts of focus, they were essential. But so is that downtime,
Yeah.
to recharge, to process.
Yeah, to make those connections.
Exactly.
So it's not just working less, it's working differently, right?
Totally. It's about working with your biology instead of against it.
Okay, I like it. Working smarter, not harder.
And hyper efficient, it gets really practical. Storoni suggests all these different techniques
Oh, cool.
based on this power law principle.
Okay.
You could try the Pomodoro technique, for example.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Have you?
Yeah. That's where you work in those focused 25-minute intervals and then you get a break, right?
Exactly. And then a short break.
It's like those hunter-gatherer sprints, but without having to chase the gazelle or whatever.
Precisely. But
Yeah.
it's not even just about checking your phone during those breaks,
So you have to actually rest.
Storoni really emphasizes the importance of true rest, like getting outside,
Oh, I like that.
moving your body, or even just letting your mind wander for a little bit.
That's when I get my best ideas, actually, when I'm like on a walk or something.
Exactly. That's when those deeper connections, those creative breakthroughs happen.
So it's like by syncing up with our natural rhythms, we might not only be like more efficient and get more done, but
Yeah.
we might actually rediscover that feeling of like flow, when you're
Yeah.
just like in the zone, you're totally absorbed in what you're doing and it feels easy and almost joyful.
This is amazing how powerful that is, right? When you can tap into that.
Yeah. So cool. This deep dive has been like a total mind shift for me. Because, I mean, it's not every day you're reading a book and you realize that, oh, maybe these ancient hunter-gatherers, they knew something, you know?
Right.
Maybe they hold the key to a more productive, indeed, a more joyful way of living, even now.
I think so. It really makes you think.
I'm definitely going to be looking at my workday a little differently now, maybe even my whole life. So thanks for joining me on this deep dive. Until next time.